Hi, it's Tim Hagen from Progress Coaching, and welcome to another episode of Coaching Conversations. And I wanted to make you aware of something very cool that we're doing on a subscription basis, and we'll put a link in each one of our episodes. But every Wednesday, we're going to be doing what we call an audio podcast workshop. That workshop will be roughly about 14 to maybe 20 minutes per episode, with each month having a theme from a coaching model, using feedback strategically, to coaching self-awareness, and so on. So if you could, look in the body or in the content description of each episode, and you will see a link where you can join this subscription. These are literally 4 workshops every month, teaching specific strategies to address a particular area of workplace coaching, as it relates, again, to things like awareness, motivation, teamwork, and what have you. Here's the cool thing. It's only $10 per month, and each month you will get a handout that we will follow along with. So we also give you a tool for you to take notes as we go through each episode. We hope you'll check it out. Today, I'd like to introduce you to a different concept, one called Claim Your Fame. Now, it's a little bit corny, it's a little bit cliche, it's a little bit acronym-driven, but when we think about leadership and we think about engagement in the workplace, let's think about how we go about attacking that currently today. We typically teach leaders how to develop engagement, how to engage with their employees, how to lead their employees, how to coach and mentor their employees. Yet we don't see a lot of responsibility on the part of the employee. And I go back to a very fundamental concept. One of the biggest mistakes that managers make is they often try to motivate their employees. And they often try to motivate their employees based on what motivates them without really knowing what motivates their employee. So the ultimate goal is to teach employees how to explore the acceptance of feedback, how to self-motivate, how to own their own attitude. See, at the end of the day, bosses come and go. Companies, to a certain extent, come and go. So when we think about all of these things that need to occur, we have to be very honest with ourselves that employees can't just expect the company to coach and mentor and train them. They have a role and responsibility. Now, with that being said, one of the things I'm writing in my next book called Coachability is that almost 8 to 10 years go by without people really understanding the value of feedback, being taught the value of feedback, practicing the acceptance of feedback, how to own their attitude, how to be a great teammate. How do I know that? See, when you go to high school and then you go to college, there's really no formal training per se of teaching people how to enter the workplace with a positive attitude, a positive disposition, how to explore their self-motivation, how to be an engaged employee, their role and responsibility of being an engaged employee. So think about that just for a second. What if leaders had employees that were trained and coached in the acceptance of feedback, how to own their attitude? What if they had employees with positive attitudes? What if they had employees that were self-motivated? What if they had employees that really understood the value of being engaged? Wouldn't those leaders have an easier time of developing talent, retaining talent, coaching them, mentoring them, challenging them, providing them feedback? See, Claim Your Fame provides an opportunity for employees. The Gallup organization reports that almost 71% of employees are somewhat engaged or actively disengaged. Think about that. Only 29% of employees are engaged. That's not even 1 out of 3, meaning employees have an opportunity to differentiate themselves. And it's actually really simple. Go into work with a positive attitude, ask your boss for some feedback, find out what motivates you, and be attentive. Now, that's pretty simplistic. I get that. At the same time, it's not far-reaching. Recently, my daughter was working for a retail organization and still is. And she's going back to college in New York. And she gave her notice and said, I'd like this to be my last day. And her 2 bosses started to get teary-eyed. And I said, why did they get teary-eyed? She's only been working there like 6 months. And both managers said, you are one of the few employees who comes in with a can-do attitude, you're positive, and you work hard. And I started laughing. She said, what's so funny, Dad? I said, sadly, that's about all you really have to do to differentiate yourself. Don't forget that lesson. They gave you some of the most invaluable feedback you can ever have. So FAME is an acronym for feedback, attitude, motivation, and engagement. If you want an apparatus, if you want a system that fuels your minds of your employees to develop positive relationships with feedback and owning their attitude and pursuing actions to become self-motivated and truly professional, engaged employees, reach out to us. We've actually created a system called Claim Your Fame. It's an employee coaching series that literally lasts 1 year, but it starts with a workshop. If you'd like more information, reach out to us and we'd be happy to provide you a workshop for your whole company called Claim Your Fame as an introductory offer at no charge. Thank you for listening to another episode of Coaching Conversations by Tim Hagen and Progress Coaching. Now, our company is always coming out with new and innovative solutions to help leaders coach their employees. And recently, we just created a new service called Coach to You, where leaders can pick and choose topics and assign 7 to 21-day programs for employees to learn and, more importantly, apply actions and then reflect and share what they're going to do going forward as a result of the learning. It's called Coach to You. We're literally bringing coaching to your employees. If you're intrigued, we'll have a link in each one of our episodes where you can get more information. And again, thank you so much for listening to another episode.